I like to talk to people. So even if you're a new person, if you want, especially if you're a Fever fan, come to the panel because I'd rather talk to you guys. This is your show. If you're a Fever fan, even if you're watching this in a playback, if you ain't make the live show, hit me in the comments. If you're a Fever fan, tell me what you think about your team. Tell me tell me uh why you think they gonna make the playoffs, right? Tell me why you think. Well, they should obviously make the playoffs, but tell me why you think they're gonna be contenders next year. I should say. Um, if I was managing a Fever, I'd dump everybody except Caitlin, Aaliyah, and Kelsey, Lexi, and Alyssa. If she, so that's a first. A Fever fan supporting Alyssa. Uh, she could keep she could keep DJ out of her head while she played the son. Everybody else could go. Mm. I don't think your team is that bad, bro. I think you're being a little hard on your team. I will I will say they need to get some better role players. Like I said, outside of Lexi and outside of Damaris, y'all role players, they could find some better. We gonna get into that because I'm gonna talk about all that. I did research. We're gonna talk about it. Nalyssa is way underrated. I agree. But here's the thing, Greatland. I think Nalyssa is a solid player, but I don't think she's gonna play well on that team. But because of how Caitlyn needs to play, this goes back to what I was saying about play style, right? Caitlyn has a running gun, pick and roll heavy play style. So both bigs is only one big, unless the coach gets creative and start to put in double picks, start to put in some horns plays. Horns is basically when you have both bigs up at the free throw line, right? In a set, if the coach start implementing stuff like that, then Nalyssa Smith could be utilized. But right now they play kind of a spread offense, right? They play a spread out offense. So if it's a spread offense, then both bigs is not going to be utilized. So the big that's being utilized the most is Aaliyah Boston. So Nalyssa Smith is kind of getting left out. So I agree with you. She's a good player, but I don't think she fits you guys. I think you guys do need to move on from Nalyssa. Sometimes it happens that way. It is what it is. Smith not fit to run play style at the. Yeah, I agree with that. She needs to be in a different system. I think the system y'all run is fine. I think Alyssa's game is fine. I just think it's not a great fit. I have to agree with you that she won't play well there. But bro, I watch every game since June. Check out the highlights right before the Olympic break. If you talk about Nalyssa Smith, I've been checking out her highlights since she played at Baylor. Good player. She a good player, bro. And I feel like, she hasn't even grown into the player she's gonna be at. I feel like, again, Caitlin Clark fans tend to focus on Caitlin Clark only and what happens with her. But because Caitlin Clark is so ball dominant and because she plays the way she plays, not everybody fits with her. So Caitlin Clark kind of stunted Nalyssa Smith growth, right? Because Nalyssa Smith was highly valued coming out of college, right? Number 2 pick, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Number 2 pick, had an okay rookie season and was starting to like progress a little bit her second season. And I think the third season was when Caitlin came and she just really didn't, she took a step back. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Liz was almost always easy choice, and she was a layup queen. But again, I agree she deserves to be on the team that is sue her. Yeah, it is what it is. It's not anybody's fault. It's just basketball. If you understand the way basketball is played, not every player fits every system. And right now, the Fever is running the system that benefits Caitlin, and that system doesn't benefit uh Nalyssa. So it is what it is. No. LOL. Side stunning her growth. I mean, whoever you want to say stunning her growth was stunning. And I don't think it was Sides because you can't really blame Sides because Sides was there before Caitlin, right? Caitlin came there with the same style she was playing since college, right? They played that same style at Iowa. So it's a style that suits Caitlin. And you got to realize they actually changed it to that style kind of in the season because Caitlin wasn't successful early. So they kind of started to play a play style that, and I'm not blaming nobody. We just talking about the game and what happened. It is what it is. They are playing a play style that suits Caitlin, which is fine. That's what you're supposed to do. If Caitlin is your franchise player, that's your go-to. That's the player that the team wants to build around. It's smart to run an offense that she's comfortable in. Well, that offense doesn't suit Nalyssa. So Nalyssa got to go. You got to choose one. You either going to run a different offense that suits Nalyssa and maybe Caitlin isn't as happy, or you're going to run the offense that Caitlin want to run and then Nalyssa got to go. It is what it is. It happens. It happens in basketball. Yeah, I know they had their issues, but again, I don't think their issues came from hating each other. I think their issues came from sides having to sacrifice something, and she chose Nalyssa, and Nalyssa ain't like that. Nalyssa like, why am I being a sacrificial lamb? So I think that's where it came from. I'm just going by what Nalyssa herself said, Chief. Listen, we both going by what she said. I'm not saying you lying. I'm just giving you a different perspective to look at it. Again, what I say about Caitlin Clark fans, some of them are able to talk the game in a non-biased way, and some of them got Caitlin Clark vision. They just see everything Caitlin Clark, she could do no wrong. And again, I'm not even blaming Caitlin Clark or saying she did something wrong, but it's a fact that the play style plays through Caitlin, right? The play style plays the way that's going to make her most successful, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Many of teams played that way. The Phoenix Suns played that way through Steve Nash, right? They played a offense that benefited Steve Nash. So what they had to do was go out and find pieces that benefited the rest of the offense, which is what they did, and that's what the Fever got to do. Nalyssa Smith doesn't fit the offense that the Fever is trying to run. It's that simple. It's that simple. Not blaming Caitlin, not blaming Nalyssa, not blaming sides. It's just an offensive play style that suits Caitlin. And Kelsey Mitchell fits. Aaliyah Boston didn't really fit at first, but then she figured it out. Nalyssa Smith play style just don't fit. So y'all gotta move her. It is what it is. But I'll leave it there. I think you 90% on this one. That's cool. Thank you for thinking I'm 90%.